Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are now in the middle with Malcolm. Man, what you doing? Huh. All right, let me stop. Let me stop fucking around. We're live. I'm sorry. I'm just such a clown. I have to. I have to. Even when we're live. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You're now in the middle with Malcolm. I'm hanging with my boy Dank, coming to me live from home, just like me. We're average working men. Ain't got time to this time. Got shit to do. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll be talking about the minimum wage. So to kick things off, the current U.S. minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. I was still shocked that it was that number, and yeah, I really can't believe it's that number still. I'm surprised nothing's been changed about it yet. Well, I know a few states have gone done their own thing, and I think we're about to chop that up right now. But to kick off my first question here, what do you think would be a fair minimum wage?
Depending on the location, I think most people can get away with, if you're a single person making $13, $14 an hour. Again, you have to take into account, the location. So if you're paying, like for example, my rent 750, it's a one bedroom apartment. So a lot of people can, make $14 an hour work with that. It'll be tight, but you can do it.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Me personally, I didn't like it at first, but when this like, cause here in Florida, the rent's kind of like it's like what the fuck? Because sometimes you'll excuse my language, the kids out at home listening. I'll keep a try and keep a PG-13 rating tonight, I guess. But me personally, I was like, nah, because the rent out here was like 1,200 and up, and I was like, nah, I ain't finna pay that. So I kind of had to bare my teeth against it for a little minute, but I decided to just move back with my parents. 'Cause, I mean, they're getting older now, so I figured it was best to be close to home and make sure they're taken care of. But yeah, at 750, yeah, it works. It'd be a living. You might have to, hit that ramen noodle diet for a little while, but it'll be nice.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do it. I'm making, I'm seeing about $14 an hour, and um, I got two kids, so I'm making that work. So if, as I said, if you're single and your rent's not outrageous, not in the thousands, then you should be able to, you know, live by, get your own place and you know
Mm.
start start your future. I guess I guess that's the way you can say it.
Yeah, for a younger person, it is a good head start. Me out here, yeah, dude, it's up in the thousands. If you get a rent for less than a stack, it's usually like a studio or some type of rundown. Um, what is it? I don't know, man. I've seen some of these houses where like they're old and just so rickety, the house got a lean to it, you know. And shoot, I mean, you could choose to live there, but you'll probably just end up having the house cave in on itself later. I've seen some of those houses do it too. They
True.
just, yeah, when a good storm come by, they just blow over.
I'm not gonna lie, man. My apartment's not the sturdiest. When my neighbors walk by because it's lifted off the ground about 4.5, 5 feet. And so when the neighbors walk, in their house, or they walk down the middle where it's all lifted, you can feel the apartment, like the ground shakes. So I'm just waiting.
But yeah, man, it's we're all plotting on the next move, seeing what's next Yeah, actually, yeah, the next place I've been looking at. I've been thinking about a family home. Come to think of it myself, just because at this point, when you got like a large family, it makes sense to have one because I get tired of all my cousins and random people just show up. I mean, I'm happy you guys show up, but I need a way where y'all can show up in a more convenient place because I got limited parking. I can't have like where I'm supposed to allow like two, three different Bahamian people to park when they pull up. You know, they take up half the block. Now, yeah, last time I had a few cousins come over, they took up half the block. I mean, it's better now because I think a few more people are getting into those little carrier vans. They're nice. I've seen, especially Mercedes Benz. Have you seen those large Sprinter like vans?
Yeah,
Yeah, those things are nice on the inside. I've been in one. There's like leather seats. I mean, I know people are like, oh, what leather seats? That's so basic. But back in the day, it was nice to have leather seats. You know, that was like, ooh, I got leather
yeah,
seats. You get cool points for the leather. But yeah, the inside was leather. It's, nice and air conditioned. I would say only downside to it, if you don't have the diesel version, it's it it's slow. You know, you hit the gas and especially if you got some weight on you, you hit the gas and it does take a minute to get up and switch up the gears. But it is nice. I would recommend that for any like family.
true.
But back to the topic at hand about the what's a fair minimum wage. For me, I roughly was around the same number as you. I would probably say 15ish because at this point we can say that 725 is just outdated. They need to at least double that number
Yeah,
because yeah, I don't even know when that number came out, but that was probably like way back in the days. I think like maybe like early 2000s when they did that wage increase. So I would say 15 for the most part. It gives you a fresh start, especially when you get into the overtime. That time and a half is, especially when you're young, that time and a half is your best friend. When you're under 30 years old, it's your best friend because when you ain't really have as much responsibilities, you can dedicate more time, especially if you got like, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When I was working at McDonald's, I used to love it because I was making money, but in a weird way, it allowed me to learn Spanish a lot better because I was still learning it in school, and then they put me in the kitchen. I don't know why they put my black ass in the kitchen with all these Spanish women. I couldn't understand shit they were saying. Yeah, I mean, hold on, no, Gloria, yeah, the little short lady. She was very, she knew the most Spanish. There was another one too. She was tall. She knew English, but she didn't like to speak it, and so she wasn't even going to speak it to me. She was just in her language. So I had one that just um I can't remember. She was mean, but she was a good mean. She was like the mean woman that would teach you Spanish and drive it into you until you couldn't accept it no more. You know, and that's really how I picked up most of like my like Spanish on the side because like inside Spanish class, no one really pays attention to like teacher. We just in there to like look at the Spanish girls. What's up, Maria? What's up, Selena? Um, just bullshit. But I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, 15's good. It gives you a good start. And going into college and whatever you may have, if you choose to go to college and work, if you have like maybe a part-time job, it makes the part-time job more at least worth having. Because nowadays, if you go and just go work at like Wendy's and they only gonna pay you like 125 or 110 a week, like nah, man, you might as well just. Like, yeah, you might as well just learn to trade at that point. That's
Yeah.
something I regretted not doing earlier when I got out of high school at like 18. I should have just went straight to trade school. But I was young. I was like, fuck it, I want to work. Bullshit, do other stuff that really probably wasn't productive at all. And yeah, had I took up welding probably back then, it would allow me to like be more focused and actually better myself in a way. So, and that's something I'm gonna say right now while we're talking about this whole minimum wage and what's fair. What's fair for the people at home when you start making good money, please start reading more about it. Like, I don't like Dave Ramsey, but at least watch one Dave Ramsey video a week if you can. Do you know who Dave Ramsey is?
I do not.
Damn.
If
Oh,
I seen him, I probably do, but off the top of my head,
yeah, you've seen the.
I would just assume he's an investor type of guy.
He's literally like. Do you have an uncle with a bald spot in his head that has money but's very stingy?
Probably, yeah.
He's that guy, literally incarnated. He's a because I have I have an uncle back in the island. He's not he doesn't have a bald spot though. He just said, "Nah, I'm just gonna shave it. I'm gonna go Tupac with it. I'm not finna walk around with this George Jefferson." So he ended up well basically he broke it down to me like this. The reason why Dave Ramsey works is because when you take in the information passively, you have no choice but to retain it. So if you spend every day of your life um, doing something, it's like muscle memory. If you spend every day of your life doing something, you will actually start to master it and learn it to a degree. Like when I'm talking with my brother and he's teaching me about electronics and electrical stuff, I'd be like, bro, I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it. But because I can, but because I have the mind for it where I can like understand it, I have the ability to like retain some of it. Like the other day, I was looking at a wiring diagram and I'm like, God damn it, Ricky Bobby. I can read wiring diagrams. And it's
And
like, damn, as much as I hated the idea of learning about electrical, just by standing next to this guy every day and hearing him tell me about it, I have literally retained the information to where I can I can retain the information to where I can read the diagram. I've retained the knowledge, and it's just like that. So yeah, people watch a Dave Ramsey video at least once a week. You learn something about money, and also coupons are your best friend. I know I'm finna lose some points for any women that are watching. I know I'm single, but hey, it's okay. I love my coupons. I be at Subway with that buy one get one sub free coupon religiously because when I go to work, I already know that's gonna be like my that's actually gonna be my breakfast and my lunch technically because depending on what time they let us leave work, I've had some days where I got to work a 10-hour shift and yeah, dude, you want to pack a double lunch on a 10-hour shift
yeah,
because and I mean, you got to, because in some ways you're going to spend money a lot just eating out and trying to survive on your own. So, yeah, coupons are your best friend. But, getting into the second question I have here. If you could get paid, well, damn it, how do I phrase this question? Because this is something I never thought I'd have to ask someone. If you could get paid over six figures a year, but you had to like get out like you in the sun, you sweating, it's back breaking. you're dirty every day. You're mad at somebody because they done forgot something on the truck or back at the shop when you need it out in the field, or because was or like there's time where you got to spend away from home. But like, say I ain't say you got to spend a whole month on the road, but if you got to spend a week out, like away from your family and stuff like that, are you willing to do that if it meant clearing six figures a year?
Yeah, I mean,
All right, sorry to hit you with that in such a serious way. I was watching that show Dirty Jobs earlier today. I forgot the dude's name, but basically, going on what's going on here in Florida, we got DeSantis, and he's kind of beefing with a lot of the immigrants coming in from like Mexico and Haiti and stuff like that. He's been, I think, in the news the other day. He sent some to Martha's Vineyard. I was like, what the hell? I don't even know what Martha's Vineyard is, but it sounds fancy. First of all, but actually, hold on, let me. Damn, yeah, that shit's fancy. Yeah, it's like a big wine. It's like this big wine tasting place. I'm like, what the? Let me- we'll take a step away from the. Let's see where I can pull up this. Oh man, damn, this shit is player. All right, so yeah, man, this shit is fly. What? Damn, Santa sent me here. This shit is player. I would love to be. Well, wait. Oh, never mind. That yeah, I can see why he did it. That yeah, I ain't gonna lie. DeSantis, I love and hate him at the same time because yeah, like this Saturday, the new law goes into effect. Like we all get to walk around without having to have a concealed carry permit. And I'm like, yes, I fucking get to walk around in my robe. I get to be strapped and all this stuff. I'm like, damn, it makes me feel good. But at the same time, I don't like that he's fucking with the Mexicans because, I mean, we kind of need them like nowadays because they make up a large portion of like the construction, the roofing, well, construction, roofing, sheetrock, yeah, they're everywhere, bro. So man, it's crazy. He sent them to Martha's Vineyard. This shit is fly. I mean, I don't think he's doing much. I think there's going to be more of them coming through, but I don't I don't condone what he's doing with the Mexicans though. Like I understand he wants to make sure Americans have a job and they're not undercutting the market. But to get back to the point I made earlier with the second question about working hard, doing the backbreaking labor just to clear six figures. Yeah, it's really these Mexicans, man. Because I delivered for Amazon for like 2 years, and every time I saw any roof being done, it's Mexicans. Nobody's really wanting to go up there and do that type of work nowadays. Um, what's the agricultural? They got people picking watermelon for $15 an hour out here.
yeah.
Now that's the now it ain't no joke. Now you're gonna be out in that sun. You're gonna be out in that sun all day picking watermelon. But well, I wouldn't do it for that much. given in my current situation, I'm at like 22 an hour at where I'm working at now. They have me as like a welder slash fabricator. And I will tell you this now, dude, so much more stuff comes with my job than I thought it would. Like when I first got there, I thought I was going to be welding. I thought we just going to weld. That's it. Malcolm, we need you to weld. Dude, I do so much more than weld that I'm like, I miss welding. Why can't I just weld? It sucks. I love it though because I learn every day. I'm learning more and I'm becoming better. And I like the trade that I'm in. But yeah, dude, it's and I probably I'm probably not even 22 an hour. Yeah, I barely clear 50. And that's with good overtime. With good overtime I clear 50 no problem. But even then you're still in that you know, iffy period about, clearing 50,000 a year, because after taxes, I'm single with no kids. So the government loves people like me. When they see my paycheck, they say, "Yeah, that's a nice paycheck, little nigga. Give me that shit." And they take a nice, well, yeah, they take a nice chunk. Last time I looked, whenever I hit $1,000, they take like 250.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's
they,
outside. Yeah, like they pay like 250 every time I make $1,000. That's at the minimum. Sometimes it's more because my pay, the overtime too. That the overtime is taxed more, so the the rate and the amount they tax me is fluctuate depending on how much overtime. So sometimes it's more than 250. I think in one paycheck, I gave up almost. They pay our pay is weird. It's a foreign company, but I think in one paycheck they almost took like $1,000 from me. Yeah,
$1,000.
yeah. It because I got a bonus. That's one good thing about the company. They give me a bonus, but with the bonus pay, my hourly rate plus the overtime. And I think that we on like Sundays we get double time. And you know me, I was like, yeah, I'll come in. I'm there. I'm finna work. One Yeah, it was about $712. But for those 2 weeks, I was literally at work every day. Every day we on 10-hour shit well, on Sundays it was a blessing. We only had to work 6 hours on Sunday. But on Sundays that's 6 hours of double time. Yeah, the government was like, yeah, we love that pay. Give me this shit, nigga. We love it.
Yeah, no, they were taking. Shoot, let me see. Uh, I just had to change my withholding because I was getting tired of bringing home shit.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, really, just to. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you can try and be loyal to some of these big companies and stuff, but if someone comes along or you find a better opportunity or there's another way to, get yourself straight, I think you got to go for it. Because, I mean, as you get older, you got to look at for the long term game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because,
Um. Go ahead.
yeah, because long term, if you think ahead, it allows you to be more careful and precise on what you want in life. Like I was saying earlier, had I had the ability to jump back into like time, back to 18 years old, I definitely changed my life. I would be busting my ass. I wouldn't have spent as much time fucking around. Like, yeah, when I went to college, I was still fucking around. I went for a philosophy degree. Like, my black ass finna be in there with Aristotle and Plato, like philosophically debating some shit. Go ahead, man.
um, so before I changed my withholding, I had to claim zero for that. So they were taking about $211 out. Um, and then I switched that to I think two, which I know you can get away with even if you don't have kids. So I'll be set with it. Now they're taking out like 167, and that's clearing 1,000. So it's like what 30 bucks. It really seems like a lot more than that. Because the difference between my check was over $100. So
Damn. That's,
but all
well,
I
you know,
know is I need more money. So
I, I feel you. Even in my situation, I feel like I need more money. Shit. Every time I turn around, every time I turn around, I need to spend money on something, groceries.
really gassy. But
All right, we're gonna go ahead. And, uh, sorry for the interruption, guys, but I got to take a step back and pull up these numbers. I have been distracted. So, getting in tonight, the reason why we started off with 725 is because Alabama also is like one of the few states that actually kept the original U.S. national wage. Sorry, the U.S. minimum wage. Oh, sorry to cut you off there, Dank. You back?
you're good. You're good.
Okay. So, going down the list from Alabama to Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California. Damn, damn, I think the minimum wage in Cali should be higher.
And where?
It says in California the minimum wage. Yeah, in 2023 it was $15.50. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So that's like for that'd be for your normal towns. If you're going like towards the coast, of course, like LA or by the Bay, you're definitely going to be seeing a minimum wage that's higher than that. But that right there is just like the bare state minimum for sure. 'Cause I know when the minimum wage was like $14, where I was living in LA, it was like $3 or $4 higher.
Oh yeah, there's yeah. I forgot. They can like set ordinances and stuff
I
like that where you
know.
get paid
I'm
for it.
trying to get these dishes. I gotta start these dishes or my.
So yeah, I think California should be higher. Arkansas, Arizona, yeah, Alaska should be a little bit higher. Just because if you live in Alaska, you just because if you live in Alaska, you probably should just get paid more. It's freezing cold up there. Ain't no way you should live in Alaska and get paid less than 15 or 14. Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida. Oh yeah, damn! I forgot we did raise our minimum wage. Speaking of, I did make a post earlier on September 30th. They are raising our minimum wage again. I think they're going to raise it up to 12 this time. They passed an order. They passed an amendment to the bill, and it's basically going to let us. incrementally raise the minimum wage until we get to, I think, 15. When we get to $15, that's where they're basically going to cap it at. So yeah, we'll be just like California, basically, which is weird because I've always thought about Florida as like California's little brother.
That's hilarious.
It's just we probably have, well, no, y'all have more old people too. It's kind of bad what's going on out there too. There's a lot of homeless problems going on. Have you seen some of the tent cities?
Oh, dude, I did a lot of Ubering in LA, and it's so bad. It's really bad out there. Um, I mean, the way California run is just shit. Even if you are, right leaning, it the gut left leaning, it doesn't matter. The governor there is an idiot, and you know they want to tax, everything, and say it's for this and it's to help these people and it's to help this, but you're taxed so much, but the problem is just getting worse. So obviously there's some corruption going on there. If you can, Cosmo, if you can have millions of dollars flow in, but the problem just gets worse, then obviously it's not going towards that issue. So I blame a lot of it on the government and within California, like the governor, and then you have the mayor of LA and stuff, and how they run their things down there is a little, you know,
Come to think, was B Real the mayor of LA for a while?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
Damn, I
If
know
he
he,
if he was, it flew over my head.
I know he said some shit about running for mayor of Los Angeles though at one point. Well, nah, he probably couldn't legally run anyway. Like, bro, you got like a criminal history, so they probably wouldn't let him run. I mean, and I'm not saying he would have been a bad mayor, but yeah, they probably didn't let him run. He was probably just saying that, probably hyping up some type of rap album or whatever he had going on. But yeah, I feel that what's going on in LA. I'm not really like a right wing type of person, but I think you really need to have a blend of both. You can't really just be on completely on the left, and you can't be completely on the right. We
I
kind of
agree.
meet in the middle somewhere.
If you can't hear the opposing side's point of view, then I think you're a little too extreme in your views. You should be able to hear conflicting things and make, whether it changes your mind or not, you should be able to listen to somebody else, you know, point of view. I don't understand why we're at a point where, you know, as soon as you say like, someone's, a Democrat and the other person's Republican, once the other person says they're one or the other, that's all of a sudden, an argument, and I can't talk to you, you're a piece of shit. You know, it's just it's very toxic now, and I think the world would be better. Where the U.S. would be better if we were able to discuss freely. You know,
Yeah, I completely agree, and now I fully understand the Buddha because I've been reading the Dharmapada for like over a year now. It's like the book of basically a collection of his teachings, and now I understand why you kind of need to walk that middle path, especially within politics, because neither side has the complete answer. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to meet in the middle somewhere, and that's really the whole purpose of the government. And it seems like they're more focused on like you were saying, the greed,
Cosmo.
the corruption.
Oh, you're right here.
Um,
Never mind.
what is it?
My bad.
The greed, the
Yes,
corruption,
buddy.
the infighting, and the separation of people. Like they keep trying to side us one against one another. When really, like like what's a good example that's kind of been all right. I didn't want to say this because we're being broadcasted, and I'm trying like not to get any strikes on YouTube. This is like my also my first official live YouTube stream, but we are going to have to talk about the Roe versus Wade situation with taking back abortion rights. I feel like it should be left up to the individual states to decide when they want that to be. And I feel like too many of the Republicans have like the extreme stance of no, no, no. And I get it. They have like, because some of them are biblically conservative. So I understand for religious reasons. I completely understand. But as far as everyone else, if you are not like, if you can't pull that biblical conservative card, like I'm a God believing man, I don't believe in that, then yeah, I fully understand why you have that stance. And whoever lives in that state should probably just move to accommodate, their living situation. Because, that was part of the reason why so many people moved to California in the first place. Because I notice a lot of the homeless that come out there, and there's a large influx of people that just come out there every year thinking this is going to be my new life, my new start, my, you know, not to quote that one song by the Mamas and the Papas. I think that's the name of the band. But people are literally still California dreaming. Like today, you can still make a rap song about California. It will blow up and take you to California, and you'll be like, "Damn, what happened to Cali?" Now,
Yeah.
I can't speak for the rest of like Sacramento, San Diego, because I still need to I still need to go touring through Cali myself, just because I don't listen to so much West Coast rap, and I feel like I need to go to California at this point.
Really nice place to visit, not so great place to live. You know, San Diego's nice. I mean, it's all really nice. You go there and you're just like, wow. You know, when you're on the coast by Santa Monica or Venice, um, but everything else is just kind of like Sacramento's really nothing too great. Um, it's it's just very expensive. So it's just like it's a better place to visit. I wouldn't really recommend living there if you're trying to buy a house. You're paying $700,000 easy for a small house. It's just it's just ridiculous. That part, and like I said, the politics there, they're stupid. That's, that's one reason why I'm glad I got out of there. But that's just me.
Yeah, I feel you. And really with the minimum wage they have, I know they're getting good tax money. On top of that, just the amount of celebrities that live in California, they alone probably provide a good tax source for, outside of, I know a few people try to make their moves and change things around so you got to pay tax or whatever. But yeah, they make enough in tax revenue where they can, get these people off the street. I don't mean you got to beat them up, but get them off the street. Use that tax revenue, like use some of that to build some of these treatment centers that they need. Obviously they need rehabilitation centers. You know, instead of spending more of that money on fancy, um, trying to do high rise condos and stuff like that. Get into I mean, technically, it's still going to be, somewhat of a high-rise condo situation, but get into, reaffirm the public housing and, build more for these people because once you get them rehabilitated, you got to get them a job, and then you got to find the houses for them. And I don't know how much land they still got in California, but they can give up some of them, some of them, wine vineyards a little bit. They can give them up. Not every rich person needs to have a vineyard. You
You
know,
know, land is not even really the issue as far as like housing everybody. Um, I think I don't know. This is probably gonna come off bad, but I mean, it is what it is. There's no ill intent, in it. But a lot of the money, like especially now, is like being used, to help out, people in California that aren't necessarily, legal citizens of California. Like, I believe they passed a thing, where everybody gets free healthcare. It doesn't matter, and that's a lot of money to spend, on a lot of people. And then you have, a huge homeless issue. Uh, it's just, you kind of agree, like, you put that aside, you have to be smart with the money too. Um, you can't take care of, if you can't take care of the people that's already there, I don't think you really have any business trying to take care of people that you can't afford to take care of. So, like, they raise the taxes, making it harder on everybody else. And then they have all these funds going out to help people, but you can't access these funds because they're already taken up, because they're available to everybody. So it's just like a lot of, I don't know, man. I've been on the shit end of the stick one too many times, being out there. And it's just because there's just too many people and not enough funds, and they've already overtaxed everybody. So you know, I think it would be better off if they weren't throwing their money like they have it to spend. They really don't. They might have a surplus, but what's that mean? Does that mean they're not spending the money that they're getting? They're just pocketing it, or what's going on here? So
yeah, and that's something that our governor out here, DeSantis, he was harping about that at some point because it's true for us down here as well. Like most of the workers are come from that type of line of undocumented, and I think that's really where you got to come together from the left and the right and have the funds available. But you got to take that extra step to be like, well, hey, we kind of need you to answer a few questions, you know. And the best part about it is, as a show of goodwill, like a bamboo stick or an olive branch that you give to somebody, you get the Americans out the way first. You get the legal citizens out the way first. You use the excess to help the you just straight up use the excess money to help the illegal immigrants get y'all want to become legal, y'all want to be fully taxed regular citizens. Okay, we'll help you do it with the extra funds we have left over.
can
Because
you go ahead?
I ain't gonna lie to you, at this point they just printing the money. That
Yeah.
yeah, the coronavirus done proved it. With one, just like I did that with one click of the button, they just print up 3.5 billion. So yeah, with the excess funds left over after taking care of the legal citizens, if y'all want to help the illegals, yeah, do that. Y'all got the extra money to do it. Help them go through the process, you know. So help them pay the court fees because yeah, court fees add up. People think it's cheap, but court is not cheap.
No, not at all.
You
I
know, help,
go
I was gonna say help them pay the court fees. Help them, go through the mitigation or whatever paperwork they need to, and the reading materials, study guides. Help them in a full sense because I can't lie to you. At this point, Spanish is officially America's second language.
yeah.
Even now, I still listen to. I was just bumping Bad Bunny at work today. So
Huh.
yeah, so yeah, we gotta help them in a way. We can't fully just be like take the hard right stance. We gotta help them in a way, but we gotta help them in a way that keeps the American citizens in at the front, And I hate to say that too, because I don't want to say anyone comes second, but let the American people come second. Because at the end of the day, the Mexicans are always going to beat it. Like that's happening right now. What I was saying about those $15 an hour jobs picking watermelon, ain't nobody in the U.S. is really going for that. That hard agricultural labor, it still goes predominantly to the Mexicans and the
Yeah.
Haitians too, because we got more of them coming in. And yeah, it's gonna be the people that say, you know what, we did this in Mexico for peanuts, and it may not have been watermelon, it may have been agave, it may have been, opium poppy for the cartel. They were like, yeah, we used to do this shit every day for peanuts, so we finna do it for $15 an hour. Hey, carnal, mucho trabajo. It's gonna be mucho trabajo.
Yeah, I definitely am a firm believer that you should definitely obtain citizenship, be in the country. But I also believe it shouldn't be as hard and take as long. I also, at the same time, I do believe it's important to vet who comes in. But, um, you know, I was going to ask, can you, if somebody was like willing to, you know, join the military immediately, I think that should like grant them citizenship immediately. You know what I mean? If you come to the border, you go straight up to border patrol and but you tell them I want to come over and I want to fight for the Americans. You know, I think they're like, all right, here's some paperwork, fill this out, give you a uniform, send you to boot camp, get you trained up. And now you're sending your money to your family. You don't got to worry about nothing. And at the same time, you get more citizens in America, and you have less of this divide of, you know, oh, they're not citizens, so that, I don't know. That's a messy topic, too.
It's okay, man. We gotta have these messy topics. People gotta hear it, man. People gotta hear it. I, I don't like talking about it sometimes, but I feel like that's overall the point of the podcast because I want people to meet here in the middle with me and understand that, like, yeah, it can't be just the right or the left. It gotta be us in the middle because we don't want to hate. We don't want to hate each other. We don't want to be racist against nobody, but we have to understand the way things need to work and also be fair and understand how messed up the system is at the same time. Like, yeah, like for those who go through it, like it shouldn't take you years and years just to become a U.S. citizen. At the most, like after you learn to speak English, like you've been in the schools. Like I went to school with kids that weren't like fully straight on the paperwork, and it's like They spoke the language. They knew the history. Um, Actually, they know the history. I knew some that were like straight A students in school, but their parents were like on their ass, you
Yeah,
know. And that's how most minorities that come to this country are with their kids. They're like, nah, we on your ass because we worked hard to get over here.
yeah,
We need to have those like hard conversations about like immigration sometimes because overall, if you want to come here, and I understand because like the whole image of the American dream is something that has been sold to most second and third world countries. So when they want to come over here and make a better life, I don't blame them. I didn't blame the Italians when they did it, the Irish, the many of the African people, because there's always some type of civil war going on in Africa for some reason. Um, yeah, this is like, and that's essentially what forged America. People deciding to leave where they were to come make a new home and start a new life.
yeah.
Oh, I got a little off topic there. Let me get back to these notes. Into the third one. Uh, so now we're going to veer off the minimum wage topic a little bit. Is this how do you feel about so basically our the way a lot of our business economics is built is on the idea of a free market where businesses and corporations, these entities are able to compete with each other. So let's say this. If you have the ability to pay someone less to receive the same quality of work, would you do it?
I think everybody really should deserve a fair wage. But at the same time, I don't think that wage should exceed what the job is, if that makes sense. Right? So, like, for example, fast food workers, I don't think they should be making $20 an hour. I believe they should be able to, at the very minimum, pay for an apartment, pay for food to eat, transportation, the basic needs. But if you are wanting a little bit extra out of life, that you should probably either, look into, you know, advancing into management or, seeking a different type of employment if you want to, earn more. Um, I started working, you know, with my company now and being moving from California to Florida, my wage was quite a bit smaller. Um, but I'm not just sitting around and just saying I'm not just complaining about it. I brought it up to my boss several times. I've gotten promotions, and now I'm one promotion away from having my own store, and that can happen here within the next 3 to 4 months. So, if you have initiative, you don't even have to seek a different job per se. You just got to have that ambition and show that initiative to, go further in that job. I know a lot of people they think that you should be able to live well, like very well off, no matter what job you have. I'm not quite there. As I said, I feel like you should be able to pay for the minimum, but if you want more, you're gonna have to work for it. Like I'm sure you don't think somebody working, or I wouldn't think that you would think somebody that's working at McDonald's should be making as much as a welder or somebody that works in a hospital. Or, it takes different talents, different skills. Not everybody can do that particular job. Almost everybody can work in a fast food environment as long as you can deal with it mentally. It's a horrible job, but from my experience. But if you can deal with it mentally, then anybody can do it. I don't think I can weld, so I think that somebody that's like welding should be making more than me because I work at a parts store, so the skills are just completely different, and the pay should fit the skill level. That's that's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. And truthfully, actually, shout out to my dog, Brian. Uh, he's like low key my mechanic buddy. Whenever I need to like fix something on my truck, I always call him first and like pick his brain. And shout out to the guys at the Advanced Auto Parts and O'Reilly store that I always go to because I know I always end up like going to one of the two. Be switching sides. I can't pick which one I want to like go with full time. I'm too cheap. Yeah, nice.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Sorry, guys.
They got the parts that nobody else has. You know what I mean?
I thought that was eBay.
No, no, eBay get you some janky ass part that don't fit what you're working on, and then you get pissed off, and then your bike gets stolen before you get to fix it, and you just look at everybody riding their motorcycles, and you're envious because they used to be you, and it's not no more. That's that's what eBay does for you. I hate eBay.
Um, I can't lie. eBay's come through for me a few times, but I would say
I know, okay, I'm trying to get
I'm
the dishes done.
I would say I'm kind of
I'm trying to get the dishes done so I can do dinner. Try
say
to get Miss Binky. Oh,
what would it be? Um, my top three. Yeah, because I can't even pick one specific one. My top three falls in this order: Amazon, O'Reilly's, and then Advance. The only reason why I kind of put Amazon above them both. I'm sorry, man. Damn, it's weird. I because because I did work for Amazon, and we used to joke, and we used to joke about it real hard, and I would laugh about Jeff Bezos. We would call him Lord Bezos, and we had like a delivery prayer before we go out to deliver. We'd be like, to the Almighty Lord Bezos, who delivers us packages to deliver unto others. May we safely get home today, and may no dogs take a bite out of my ass. Amen. Yeah, dude, them dogs were vicious too, and it was always a small dog. A small dog don't get no. He will come at you with full force and just bite. Them big dogs, at least you get somewhat of you can somewhat hear them. I know one day I had like a German Shepherd I had to run from, and man, I turned into a professional football player for like 30 seconds because I'm I'm juking. I was stiff arm a little bit. Yeah, I actually used the. Well, I don't work for him. I don't work there no more. Yeah, I used the whole I used the whole package to stiff arm the dog. I'm like, yeah, bite that. You know, I run clean into the truck. And then there was one time, yeah, there was this one girl. I came out to deliver to her. I can't lie, she was beautiful. She she would make a grown man cry. And just this big, you remember that dog Beethoven from Disney Channel?
Yes, sir.
She had one of them. And this dog come running out from behind her to come get me. I literally jumped into my vehicle and I was able to close. I didn't even close the door with my hand. I closed it with my foot. I just hooked my foot right into like that little arm crux,
Huh.
and with my foot, I was like, "Yeah, you ain't finna eat me today." That's a bell. What the hell is that? Is that a bell? Uh,
That's hilarious. So, why, if you had to go with the auto parts store specifically, because Amazon is like one of those like oddball, because you can get anything from Amazon.
Not yet. I still can't get I still well I mean it's not legal, but I mean you still can't buy any like well yeah, there's reasons why you'll never be able to do that. Like yeah, we can't buy blunts and so I can buy all my papers though. I can buy all my papers. I could buy all like my little cheap hookah stuff. Um I think yeah, I've been able to get a few glass pieces for my pipes here.
Yeah, you can
What
definitely
is
buy
it?
some. You can definitely buy some glass and stuff from Amazon. I don't know about the quality. Um, that
Oh no, man!
that can vary,
It
quite drastically. But
yeah, it does. It does. From my experience, it's like this. From my experience, it's nothing cheaper than what you would find in a smoke shop already. Like imagine going into like your most basic ass smoke shop, and you know how you can tell what costs what just by what shelf it is, because like all the cheap shit is on one shelf, and all the like expensive stuff is on another.
yeah, um, I used to sit there and post for a smoke shop, a bunch of stuff on Amazon all the time, blunt wraps, um, oil burners, pizzos, whatever you want to call them, all sorts of stuff on there. And then they be taken down, 2 or 3 days later, and I have to post them back up with a different name. And it was like a very tedious job. It got quite annoying, but I
Damn.
think Amazon, like, they get money anyway, so I don't understand, why they would trip on smoking devices being sold. Uh, they're just kind of like missing out on the market, but
Yeah.
it's,
I'm.
I mean, it's whatever, I guess.
I mean, well,
Um,
I think the market takes up for itself though, because when you look at it now, most of these like between like the internet and like during the pandemic, I won't lie to you, everybody and their mom had like an Etsy store, had like a Shopify store. Like even my sister, she has hair oil. I use it all the time. Shameless plug. For those who want the nice flowing locks, you know,
true.
hit me up, email me at in the middle with Malcolm at gmail.com. I'll get you guys a package out there. Well, yeah, everyone, started their own online store and stuff like that. So, I mean, the best way to probably go about it at the time, like if you really want to just have your own smoke shop or like digital smoke shop, online is the best platform to go at this point because I think the physical smoke shop is just dying out. At this point, it's only just a physical smoke shop at this point is just for like some type of drug dealer or shady wash business to clean money.
True.
Yeah, like the last time I went into a smoke shop, I was like, bro, please don't do. I've never had someone just so eager to try and sell me marijuana. I felt like I was being set up. I was like, bro, I'm good. Like, I just want, one or two things and I'm good. I'm good, bro. I don't want it. Don't. He's like, nah, I got this, man. This did the good. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't want it. No, man, I got this package right here. It's this Tetra. I forget what he said. It's this, I guess, this legal stuff they have out now that they can sell.
It's like
Uh,
Delta 9 or whatever.
yeah, I was like, listen, dude, I don't want the Delta 9. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know. I know what indica means. I know what sativa means. Indica means I'm gonna go to sleep. Sativa means I'm gonna stay up. That's all I need to know. But he said, "Yeah, man, I got this Delta 9 tetrahydrocannab. Listen, bro, keep all that Delta 9 shit over there.
It's
Please."
trash. It's trash, dude.
And I've had cousins that have tried the CBD weed. I've tried it myself, and I won't lie to you, bro. That shit made me so depressed and happy at the same time because for about 3 to 5 seconds, you are high. You are high. You feel it. You're like, yeah, I feel it. And then it's gone.
True.
That shit's like Patrick Swayze is like, well, no, it's not. It wasn't Patrick Swayze. Who was in that movie Gone with the Wind? Oh, damn. Got Clark Gable. Yeah, you like Clark Gable. Gone with the Wind. Sorry, bro. That's an old movie reference. My,
I
at
love
my
Pretty good.
it.
house, we had like one of those, you know, those TVs where you had to get the pliers to change the channel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had one of those where you had to get the pliers, and I remember this because I'll show the I'll show. Let me, this is Clark Gable, people. He's one of the best actors of all time. And I mean, there's a few other people there. Shout out to uh, Hattie McDaniel. Excuse me, my wisdom teeth are starting to hurt a little. Well, what used to be my wisdom teeth is starting to hurt a little. I've been,
Phantom Pains.
yeah, yeah, them phantom pains are a motherfucker. I'm like, damn. But yeah, shout out to Hattie McDaniel. Yeah, this is one of those classic movies. If you were an art major or one of those drama kids in high school, you probably seen this in a movie.
Dude, I'm fucking running around my.
Let's get back to this. Let's get back to the minimum wage. So, just to wrap up what we were talking about earlier, for those that are tuning in, we were discussing the minimum wage. Roughly around the first half, we were saying that the minimum wage would be fair around $14, $15 an hour. And as you can see, for a lot of states, it's not that. California is like one of those states making strides, and a few other states are getting up there towards it. But at this point, it's fair to say that most of the states haven't done anything as far as legislative goes. It's like the laws of the state to say on paper that we're raising our minimum wage to a higher stature. Oh, through 745 Maine. All right, Maine. That's getting up there. That's it. 97. Michigan. Yeah, man. It's oh, damn. Let me do a final count of these. Got one, two, three, four.
Why you want to count that? I'm gonna go ahead and grab something real quick to smoke. I'll be right back.
You good, bro? Good. So in total, roughly 20, well, half of the states have made the strides forward to go ahead and increase the minimum wage up to at least the double digits. We still got a few straggler states that don't want to, make that change. But as we were saying earlier in the podcast, I think the local communities within said states are already taking those strides to pay a higher wage. Now, yeah, for the servers, restaurant workers, I know, I understand the struggle is real. It is a real struggle. But for those who don't, how would I say it? For those who really don't see this at hand, who really don't see the just the sheer weirdness of it, there should be no reason that our states are still like going by the 725. If you live in a state that is still paying this, I suggest you move. Don't move to Florida. We got enough people moving. All the New Yorkers want to come down here. All the Northerners want to come down. Don't move to Florida. Move to somewhere else. Now, move to California. Make it a better place. But let's see what we got else coming up. All right, take blunt intermission. Yes, the pun was intended. Blunt intermission. Here, let me go ahead and pull up this video for you guys. I'm based in Florida, so I got to go ahead and do this for Florida. Now, damn, that was a good pop up, but no, I don't know Wix. I don't want to know that motherfucker. Sorry, guys. I was just clicking through off some of my tabs. By the way, to my fellow computer nerds, clear your tabs. Taking up all this damn bandwidth. Play this video for you guys. Oh, yeah, clicked the wrong button. Sorry. Pilot error.
Laws signed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will go into effect on July 1st. Many of these laws have garnered national attention, and some have even been at the forefront of lawsuits. So here's a breakdown of some of the big changes coming to immigration, education, public safety, and more. One new law will require private companies with over 25 employees to use an online verification system to prove the legal employment eligibility of workers. While the law aims to curb illegal immigration, critics argue that it will take a toll on Florida's economy, especially in the construction, agriculture, and hospitality sectors. Another new law, known by critics as the Don't Say Period law, it bans teaching of the menstrual cycle before grade 6. It also defines sex as either male or female based on the sex characteristics a person is born with. and prevents the use of preferred pronouns that do not correspond with a student's biological sex. Higher education will also be affected by Florida's new laws. For instance, Florida colleges and universities will no longer be able to use state and federal funding towards diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Additionally, certain topics such as identity politics will be banned from college curriculums. Public safety, that's another topic at the center of Florida's new laws. Under new permitless carry law, Floridians will no longer be required to have a government issued permit to carry a concealed weapon. Another law will authorize school districts to place and control cameras on the exteriors of buses. The law aims to catch drivers who illegally drive past school buses that are displaying a stop sign. Public safety also extends to online safety. There's a new law that will prohibit students' personal data gathered through educational technology from being used for targeted advertising. And these are just a few of the more than 200 new measures that will soon become the law of the land in Florida.
So,
Unadapted.
I mean, some of that's why I moved to Florida, man. Oh man, there goes my light. Is that a huge difference?
That lighting's good, bro.
Um,
Yeah, while you're gone, I was literally just telling people, yeah, don't move to Florida, because I already know, man. These Northerners from the move down. Yeah, I already see it, man. Like, yeah, I already know. I'm gonna have to lay one down, man, because they
so
come down.
the Northerners, you said?
Yeah, some basically it's just the New York niggas. It's just the New Yorkers, the New York niggas. They like to come down here and they like to play macho and be the tough guy. And I can see the beef. I can see the beef happening. They finna come down here to Florida. That especially because we got convicted felons that still just carry like it's whatever. So now you got legal people, you got illegal people. Yeah, in Florida, I would recommend you be very cautious.
Hey,
Not in a day,
Cujo,
not in like be scared for your life, but
go.
before you
Get
get
down.
into an argument with somebody.
Down.
Now, as
Get
they were
down.
saying, it's still like you can't just shoot somebody down because of an argument. You have to have a legitimate cause. But yeah, before you decide to act crazy or do something that could change your life forever, don't come to Florida if you are not prepared to be a kind person. Yeah, if
See,
you're an asshole, stay away because I can see it now.
see,
But
I don't know, man. I moved out here, and I don't know. I work with somebody who that's funny. He said everybody tries to act like they're hard, like they're from Cali, because he's from Cali too. So he's always saying like everybody out here is always acting a fool, trying to be gangster, but there's really no real gangs, per se. Like out here, like you don't see anybody, like at least here where I'm at. There's nobody really like gang banging everywhere. In California, is that anywhere you go, like you don't want to wear, you don't go in this area, you don't want to wear certain colors for sure. I haven't really caught that vibe out here. I do know that everybody is more likely to have a gun out here. So yeah, you don't want to go run your mouth off to people because you don't know, who has that short hair or that short temper. Um, but I was more talking about as far as like the whole the schooling stuff. I really don't think that it's any. I don't think that's something that should be discussed in school from a teacher. Uh, as far as like your like gender identity and stuff like that. Um, I I can concede and and say I don't care about what you do. You know, I just don't think it should be pushed on kids that otherwise would never even thought about it. Uh,
yeah, and here's it's like I said earlier. I love and I hate DeSantis because you know, as much as I hate him on the right side of his politics, I can totally understand him because I'm right here in the middle. And it's like, yeah, dude, I really wouldn't want people like, yeah, like back in the days when they gave us our first sex ed class, and I think this was like sixth grade, we had to get permission slips. Sorry, guys. Let me sip some of this tea.
Yeah, did you like? And there's parents that didn't, want just like that discussed. Now, like, if we're gonna, I don't know, man. I gotta be careful because I don't want your stuff being flagged. So I'm trying to watch how I come out or like say things.
Say it, man. Shit. Yeah,
Basically, my
it might
point
go
of view.
viral. Shit, it might be the one thing that makes this go viral.
Well, if
So
that's the case, then just check out my SoundCloud. Make sure to get this in the bite. um, I got a song that displays this entire thing. But anyway, I feel like, damn, this shit's annoying. I
yeah.
think. All right. Well, let me ask you this. This is kind of off topic, but it makes sense to me, so it's enough to roll with it. So, flat Earth. What's your opinion on that?
What the hell? Oh, good.
I know
Listen, man.
it's kind of out there, man, but it's relevant. So the more I think about it, the more relevant it becomes. So
Listen. Actually, you know what? And I'm gonna give you your props, man. You have just inspired me. We're gonna specifically on Thursdays. We're gonna rename this Thursday night sit. Yeah, I call this the Thursday night sit down, but we're gonna call it the Stoners Talk. This is gonna be this is gonna be the Stoners Talk on Thursday, where we're gonna sit down and we're just gonna shoot the gauntlet. For those of you who aren't familiar with my lingo, when I say shoot the gauntlet, we're basically just going to just rapidly go over the topics. Like you saw how we started with, well, we basically started with the minimum wage, but now we're getting into. I had to show the video for the Santos and what he did because low key he is like viral on the algorithms right now. So I'm trying to ride. Yeah, I spent like a couple hours like learning about how the algorithm works, and but yeah, I'm trying to ride some of his coattails. Maybe that clip of him will get me somewhere into the algorithm stream, get me a couple more views. But the way I'd like to, project the episode idea is with the Stoners Talk. We'll just go over a few rapid hot topics. Like we went over the minimum wage. I brought up DeSantis. We talked about the state of California and what they got going on in the whole. Whew, excuse me, guys. I'm a little bit congested. We got I think what I got next going on is going into violent crime. I think I can pull up a few numbers on that.
what's going on here? The whole thing is messed up. I might have to disconnect and come back on because I broke something.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead, man.
But think about that, man. Think about the flat Earth thing, because it's all
Oh
gonna
yeah.
come full. It's all gonna come full circle.
All right. Oh yeah. Disconnect and reconnect. I'll give you an answer when you come back in. I actually have a perfect answer for that.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. All right, so we got that. So I wanted to put this up right here on that. Oh no, I wanted to full screen the video. Oh, this is the wrong shit. See, I couldn't leave well enough alone. All right, here we go. So put this there. Okay, I don't have to disconnect. We're cool. All right, yeah. So, well, Thursday night podcast. What is it? Like me and you're gonna hop on Thursdays and just talk about random shit.
Yeah, we're gonna call it the Stoners Talk.
All right, for sure. All right, got that down. So Thursdays, I got something to do. All right, so this flat Earth thing. What's your take?
All right. First off, I don't believe the Earth is flat. And no way can it be flat for three reasons. Well, first, let me. I guess.
Bless you. So it can't be flat, even though that there, are scientists and researchers that say that it is indeed flat.
Listen, scientists and researchers. Here's the thing, and I'm going to take a few shots at Jordan Peterson here tonight. So that's enough. I need to say his name so I get in the algorithms too, because he's a hot topic. The scientists and the researchers that back the flat Earth theory, I, I solemnly believe only do it so they can push books.
You think so?
It, that's it. The only you do it so you can get your name out there because it's always scandalous. Someone's going to read it because I do that myself when I'm researching. So if I believe the Earth is flat, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look up every type of reading material. I'm gonna look up every internet source. I'm gonna look up everything that allows me to prove that the Earth is flat. Like I'm gonna get some hate right here for this. Like we got black people that believe they are the real Hebrew Israelites from the Bible.
Oh, shit, we're going here now. All right.
Well, we gonna finish this flat Earth thing because I need you to understand that. Yeah, those people they just try to push books and their own personal agendas, so they make money because they get paid to talk. Like I don't know how much these speaking engagements are, but at one point I think Hillary Clinton got paid over like six figures just to show up and talk. You can get paid that much just to show up and talk. You are in the money. But yeah, they just try to put some type of agenda and sell books. Ain't no way you went to school for over like, especially like doctors aside. Yeah, you've been to school for almost a decade or more. Ain't no way you could believe the Earth is flat. Especially when we have like magnetic fields, like shit you could actually test in the real world today.
Yeah, I think the biggest argument, against that whole thing is, you got, a bunch of countries that can't get along for shit, but they all can seem to conspire together on one topic. The world is round. The earth is round. They all agree with that, but they can't agree with anything else. They all conspired on that one topic and that one thing alone. Nothing else they can agree on or work together on. I think it's bullshit. But the whole point of the whole thing about that was, they say like when you sit there and you tell somebody that there's two genders, right? You're born a guy or you're male or you're female. They'll sit there and say, that you can be either or, born one, you're actually the other. There's people that back this up. That's where the whole round earth thing comes like or a flat earth thing comes from. You have a bunch of people that are sitting there screaming, there's a flat earth. There's a bunch of scientists that can prove it. They don't you know. But what about this? Like, it's the same. It's the same shit, and it's crazy to me. I mean, I do believe that everybody has the right to do what they want to do with themselves, whatever. I believe the line should be crossed with children. I don't think a child should be given the ability to alter their brain chemically, to change hormones and stuff, to change the way they feel about themselves. That was probably pushed into their mind by somebody else. Because I honestly don't feel like most people, you know, I don't really feel like a lot of people, wake up and they're just like, you know what? I feel like I'm a woman. I'm not really a man. Like to me,
I don't. I don't believe it either.
I part of me, and this right here can receive some hate. Part of me thinks that it kind of came from maybe people that were gay, that were wanting to be deemed straight, so they started trying to cross over and do one thing. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but
Yeah, I believe they should leave it out of the kids. Like I was saying earlier, when I was in sixth grade, we had to get permission slips just for them to talk to us about like that. So yeah, with the kids, it should definitely be like a parents first approach with any type of discussion. Now, like, yeah, if they're in class doing some type of inappropriate stuff or whatever, immediately notify the parents. Like, yeah, hey, man, we found your son and another boy. They, like, yeah, you need to address this. I can't tell you how to address this, but this needs to be addressed.
yeah,
And,
they shouldn't be taken over in the classroom. Tell them, let me sit you down and tell you why you're acting this way. That's crossing a line.
well,
So, shit, that light is.
yeah, me myself, I just try to use the light of my screen. I just use I adjust the brightness level. Thank God my monitor is big enough to where it like casts a light. But yeah, I got my monitor on max brightness right now, maximum brightness.
I was just trying to, share my wonderful self with the world. uh, but yeah,
Uh,
no, I think the whole thing with that has kind of gone overboard. I don't know what it's like out here. I know in California, if you're a doctor and you address somebody as Mister or Mrs. and they don't identify as that, you can be fined and lose your medical license. I think that's kind of bizarre and insane. And as I said, I feel like you should be able to do whatever you want, but you shouldn't be forcing people to try to believe that. That's like me trying to force my religious views on somebody else. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So don't try to sit there and force me to try to believe what you deem you know real to you, because it's not what's real for you isn't what's real for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, everybody have different aspects on religion. Everybody has different, like, everybody's different. So I was really happy about moving to Florida, because I don't have to worry about my son being indoctrinated. That's for sure. But other than that, Florida's amazing. I don't know why you would tell everybody not to. Well, maybe where you are. I don't know. I remember I hated Port St. Lucie when I was down there. I hated, Southern Florida.
yeah, man,
Uh,
listen, Southern Florida is filled. Listen, it's getting filled with assholes, man. That's why I know, like with this new gun law, I know there's going to be so many people getting dropped.
well, tell me this, man. Do you think that maybe people are assholes because they can't breathe and it's too damn hot down there? Maybe people shouldn't be living
Well,
down.
yeah, the heat definitely, yeah. Heat agitation is a real thing.
Dude, is insane. I can barely take it up here. And I remember being down there. I tried going to the skate park a mile away, and I couldn't breathe. Like, and it's flat as can be. And I'm used to hills and shit. And no, it was not. It was not a good thing. I hated it down there. But here, I love it. It's crazy. I thought I was gonna like hate everything about the weather of Florida, but it turns out southern Florida is just horrible, and northern Florida is where it's at.
Yeah, Southern Florida is it's where it is, man. This is the heat, but really, South Florida is more for like the. I say, yeah, if you want to retire by the water or whatever, yeah, it's more of a playground for the Northerners. They love like coming down here. There's like, I think just in the Tri County area, there's like more than 13 different like 55 and older communities. Like, yeah, between Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, and
Oh
Beard.
no, your dad's gonna fuck
There's
you
like
up.
probably about 30 of them,
You just look at
10
the gas
for each
spot
city.
there.
True. Yeah, man.
Husband.
I was really thinking that I wasn't gonna like it out here. To be honest with you, I moved out here because my son, he's in Mississippi, so I wasn't trying to be 2,000 miles. What's he doing?
You like the big ass spot in your chair?
I wasn't trying to be 2,000 miles away from him and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let me move out there, but let's not move to Mississippi. So when I moved out here, I saw the hills and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is like almost like home. So now I'm like in awe of northern Florida, and I think everybody should move here as long as you don't vote like you did in California, because that's where you'd be moving from. Dude, no joke. I tried to get a trailer to move out here, $1,500 to rent it. Small ass U-Haul trailer, $1,500. The reason why? Everybody was leaving California. They didn't have no more trailers.
Yeah, it was real.
They're moving to Texas and they're moving to Florida.
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
You,
Hey,
you
do you
wanna
hear?
know?
You hear my southern? Am I getting like a southern accent yet? Because I hear it sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I think I told you one time when I was hearing you rap, I was like, "Damn, bro, you sound like you've been in the South a long time." I was like, "We said, yeah, I forget, but I forgot what I was listening to." But at one point, you just said, "I hate that hoe," and I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah, yeah, this man a plate of biscuits and gravy." That was a real Southern way of saying that. That was get the biscuits and gravy.
man, we got. I mean, we should probably do a song or something. We're doing a podcast. I mean, you got your mic back there. I got mine hooked up right here. We can do this.
Uh,
I don't make beats that much because I'm not good at it at all. If I make a beat that's half decent, then that's like a miracle. It's an accident for sure. But I was trying to collab, man.
Oh, don't knock yourself, bro. Listen, that intro song that I played took me about, yeah, that was about 8 hours of me just trying to work on one song because I totally, like, I can't cap, bro. It's like an Oreo. My sense of rhythm is greatly diminished to where I'm offbeat a lot. Like the quantize button on my software is my best friend a lot of times because I will be like I'll fuck up a note. That's why whenever I record, I used to try and like actually drum through an entire track when I would lay my drums. Nah, now I just do it 4 bars at a time, copy, paste. I switch it up on. I try to switch it up on the chorus, or if I have a bridge or something like that, I try to switch it up. But yeah, man, it's a hassle for me too. It comes with the dedication to years of practice. Like
Oh
Kanye
yeah,
if I probably do it every day for the next 3 years, when we come back to this topic, I'll probably fire. My beats will be like butter on toast.
yeah, man.
Uh,
I'm,
Tom, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. It was gonna come up as soon as I started talking. To be honest, just off the fly. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, well,
I get you, but I wanted to go show you these these basically these murder stats and violent crime statistics. because while we were talking about these with these new gun laws and stuff here in Florida, yeah, a lot of people go be getting their head peeled back. They doing some
Stop. Go.
You familiar with the Puffco?
with the what?
Puffco.
No, I'm not familiar with them.
Some high tech shit. I'm about to do some like advertising real quick before we get there. Well, you said you got murder statistics
Yeah,
for the U.S. or just Florida?
for
Looks
the
like
U.S.
all right.
I'm finna. Well, I'll shift to Florida a little bit later, but yeah, I just while we're on the topic of like people getting their head peeled back for being, let me correct myself because not everyone that dies does it for a bad reason. Sometimes or a good reason. Sometimes stuff does happen, but yeah, overall violent crime is actually dropping from we're pretty much in the green. Go back down to start from the bottom. Start from the bottom. Now we're here. Damn. All right. New York is up 100%. Syracuse, New York specifically. Stockton, California.
I guarantee you Bakersfield's on this list.
Let me see. Damn, man. Well, okay. I already know where these statistics are coming from. They pretty much did it mostly around Cali, a few states in the Midwest, and let's see, yeah, we got Texas in the house, but yeah, New York, 100%. Stockton, California, 23.8. St. Louis is actually in the green, negative 10%. Spokane, man, what's happening in Spokane? Shout out to Spokane one time. If we got any watchers in Spokane, their crime is down 28%. South Bend is at zero, so ain't nothing changed. Shreveport is up 10%. Seattle up 15%. We got Savannah, Georgia down 87.5. Santa Clara, California 100% down. Damn. And what's above San Jose, California at 100% up. Damn. Like, dude, that's so drastic all in one state.
Yeah.
We see San Francisco's up 8.7. San Diego's down 18.75. San Bernardino down 66.6. San Antonio's up 1.4. Salt Lake City, Utah up 42%. Sacramento down 27. Rochester down 40. Richmond, Virginia up 12. Raleigh down 58. Providence, Rhode Island, and Reno, Nevada are pretty much the same.
Damn. My boy is in Plano, and they 0%.
Yeah, they got no changes so far. He probably should write to his local legislators and get off your ass, do something.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that they're at 0.
Well, it depends. Like if it was already more like a peaceful community, then the change really doesn't affect it. It just will stay the same. But, yeah, Raleigh's at 58, Portland at 7.6, Reno 0, Pittsburgh down 11, Phoenix down 12, Philadelphia down 24, Orlando down 11, Omaha, Nebraska down 75. I would hope so. What the fuck y'all shooting up in the, well, probably deer and hunting, but yeah, I wouldn't expect violent crime in like Omaha. Pittsburgh, Oklahoma down 11. Vegas. Damn, New Haven, Connecticut. Damn, they up 200%. Jesus. New Orleans is down 21. New York is down 7.6. Yeah, Madison, Wisconsin up 100%. Mesa, Arizona up 100%. We got Miami in the house with 5.8. Have Nashville with 5.8 too. Then we got Florida, Jacksonville down 27. Yeah, Los Angeles and Long Beach actually have lower. That's weird. I don't know, man. They might have juked those stacks.
Oh,
Listen, ain't no way a rapper just got killed in a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. And you guys can tell me the crime rate is down like 23 points. Ain't no way.
I mean, that ain't funny, but that's just true.
Literally, like it's all over the town. Celebrities are getting their houses broken. Pop Smoke, PNB. Yeah, like in literally 3 years, we've had like three different rappers get killed in California. Yeah, ain't no way y'all. Yeah, y'all did something to those stats. Y'all fuck with the numbers. I mean, I can believe it though, because they kind of have a way to fudge it, depending on how many like cases you bring in or certain things y'all resolve by the end of the year. Y'all can juke. They can juke the stats in a certain way.
Yeah.
You got a lot of Honolulu, Hawaii. Well, yeah, it's fucking Honolulu, but they still got drug problems and homeless kids. Like Fort Worth, Texas, down. Yeah, a lot of them. Looks like crime is pretty much down for the most part.
Dude, those bees, I'm waiting for it.
Bro, it's just Texas. It's not Texas. It's just like New York. Damn, Charleston, South Carolina, up 150. Jesus. Yeah, just a few outliers that are like horrible.
Was that all the way up? Oh no.
Now we're all. Now we're all. Yep.
Right. Where are you at? Oh shit, they don't even have. I guess it's not a major city, so it don't matter.
Oh, which one were you looking for?
I was looking for Bakersfield. There's something on there. I'm just guessing those must be major cities.
Yeah, that's all pretty much because they don't have nothing besides like the major cities in Florida. So it's pretty much that it.
Damn. So I'm kind of like stuck on this whole Titanic shit now. I always had like a fascination with the Titanic, but
Oh, shit.
but now like this whole it's kind of like repeat my interest, you could say. Um, what do you think, man? Do you think they were on that shit, or do you think they faked their deaths?
I think we got too much shit going on right now to think about some rich people in a ship in the bottom of the goddamn ocean.
Maybe. What if those rich people fake their deaths to screw over millions of people out of their money, or like,
We'll deal
and
with
they're
it.
alive and they're getting away with it? Then I think that warrants a discussion. No.
We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it later. Right now, like, yeah, we got more important issues. Like, I think, yeah, like the U.S. is talking about cutting off aid to Africa because they don't want to push like the whole LGBTQ thing, and like,
That's stupid.
yeah, and I'm like, listen, dude, they got starving children over there. Are y'all really trying to like? If they don't want to like have, if they don't want to make this change, you have to like meet them somewhere in the middle of the road. You know, maybe ask them to take away like some of the lethal stuff. I think in some African countries, you could be thrown in jail being homosexual. You know, if you want to ask them, hey, we will support you, we will help you feed the kids. Can you just give the gays a lighter sentence? You know, give the
It's,
gays, the LGBT, give them a lighter sentence. Don't send them to jail just for being, homosexual. And it's
it's
crazy that there's laws like that, but that's totally what's going on. There,
that is.
actually, I think in some countries, yeah, in like the Muslim countries, they can kill you for that.
I think it's crazy. That that's a thing. But I also think it's crazy that the U.S. would think that like an entire country would change like their stance and beliefs just because we said so. That's kind of ignorant. Like
Yeah,
I don't.
it's really the power trip, man. Because when you give these countries the power to come in and just change a lot of your like living, that's what basically what they were trying to do with Cuba. They were going to turn Cuba into a playground for the rich and the casinos until Castro came in and said, "No, we got communism." And I mean, he tried to do things his way, and I guess the results were, I guess, well, yeah, his results suck. Never mind. I ain't even going. Yeah, Castro sucked. But even then, that's what happens when we try to overstep our bounds, and try to shape a culture to the way we want it. We have to like, we got to meet them in the middle and say, hey, you guys may not have the same agendas as us, but if you can help these people or take a lesser, make a lighter sentence for them. Like I said, in some places in the Middle East, they can kill you for homosexuality, and I think that's wrong. You really
Yeah.
should. Yeah, what you do in your bedroom, what you do in your house, what you do in your life is your business. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've seen gay men in public kiss. I don't look at that shit. I don't like because here's the thing. Whenever I hear someone say, "Oh, it's the people don't want to like the people don't want to see that," don't look at it. Like and, well, what about my kid, man? Why are you letting your kids sit there or stand there and look at these two men engage in this, public display of affection? Some people would deem that as appropriate. They turn their heads away from it, even if it's like a man and woman. Like, I'm walking with my kid and I just see two kids like sucking each other's face off right in the middle of like the store. I'm be like, yeah, let's go down a different aisle. I don't walk down this aisle.
Well, that brings up a good point because so when you're talking about like movies, TVs and TV shows and stuff, I'm 100 like I don't want to see that shit. And it doesn't matter if it's gay or straight. I don't like if I'm watching a TV show or a movie. It's not because I want to watch these two characters make out for 30 seconds or you know, a shitty sex scene. Like that's not important to me. I'm invested in the rest of the story that actually has a purpose. So like I don't think that they should have that shit at all in movies. And that's my argument. So when I get like upset when I see that shit, like it doesn't really bother me like in like adult movies, but when I see like a cartoon from Disney that comes out and it has two girls or two guys kissing. I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, and this isn't like a prejudice as in a way like I don't like gay people. This isn't. I don't want to see a guy and girl kiss on this either. This is a kid show. This isn't about that. This is about whatever. Like what are you teaching? Because usually there's some sort of like, at least with any of the good animation films, there's some sort of like moral, lesson to be learned. And
Yeah,
so when you push that stuff in there and you add that in there, it's like, well, now you're indoctrinating, you're teaching kids this, whether it's good or bad. I don't care. I don't want to see none of it. I don't want to see mom and dad. I don't want to see dad and dad. I don't want to see mom and mom. I just want to see the character achieve whatever goals that they're set out to achieve. It's just
yeah. I feel you. Raising the child, being there, and being all around great parents. So yeah, I can totally understand. I just how how would I say this in a way? I just feel like to get back to what we were saying with the submarine. Like I feel like perfectly, this is what the submarine is. It's a distraction from what we were already talking about, the changes that need to happen. And
definitely is a distraction.
because like, bro, they got lab grown meat coming in, and you want to know what's sad about it?
What?
KFC has announced that they're dealing with lab grown meat.
Oh hell no! That's my favorite chicken spot.
Bruh, I can't even eat fried chicken right now, and I'm just like, why? Like now I can't even. Now I can only go to either Popeyes or one of our local chicken places. I will never be able to like trust KFC.
Yeah, no, that's kind of it's kind of beat. I don't. I mean, I don't know what they're growing this meat from, but the hell is going on up there? And the submarine is a distraction, man, but it is a very interesting thing to have happened, right? Like that makes it even more so likely that it was all bullshit and nobody was on board.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
like
who knows?
just to humor the topic for a moment, right? So I can see it being complete bullshit because I myself, if I have millions of dollars, if I have the funds to spend $250,000 on a ticket on a submarine, it's not going to be a piece of shit submarine where there's no seat. It's operated by a PlayStation controller. All sorts of just like crazy, sketchy shit, and it don't work all the time. It's one thing to have malfunctions every now and then, but this motherfucker didn't work every single time it went out there. Something fucked up. So you're gonna spend that much money to go on something like that. I don't buy it. And then they waited so long for to say that hey, the sub's missing. Those fools are gone. They sank that shit. Let it just like basically they probably let that shit free fall, yeah, and then boom, hit the bottom and imploded, and they're somewhere else chilling.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man.
I feel
Otherwise, it's just this dude fucked up, and he kind of like the truth, and I don't have any you know, I don't feel like bad for them. Like they got what they got, but if they didn't, and they're just like normal rich people that had money and their money got them into trouble. That's kind of fucked up. More so for the 18 or the 16 or 18-year-old kid that was on board. Like, but I don't know, man. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a distraction. But I will say this though, because some people like it's been documented enough to what say these are real people who were really affected. I feel like they were just misled by the actual manufacturer or the salesman. I don't know how you can classify the guy because just the way the machine is designed tells me this is like some type of college Ponzi scheme master who was like already designing a vessel and he just wanted the money to test it. Basically, like they paid for the sub to be built. I don't know when he made the tickets available, but at some point he he started building the sub, said, "Hey, I need money from people to finish it," and decided to sort actual passengers who would pay for the tickets, and then he would complete the sub and then set on the voyage. And his test run, may cost these people their lives. So I have to give some respect to the fact that yeah, whoever the owner of the company that designed this should fully be held responsible, and they need to find them people however they can find them, like immediately, because yeah, that ocean is nothing to play with.
We know they pulled out part of the sub, and they found like human remains inside of, like, I guess, some of the folded up metal. I don't know exactly like a whole bunch of details about it, but they did find some like human remains down there, which is just kind of crazy in of itself. Which, I mean, and that whole like them making it is completely rabbit hole-ish. It's definitely a conspiracy theory, but one that definitely holds more water than flat Earth. If you want to circle back around to that, but yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you come down to it, because I went to work, man, and I was like, I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of like, sad, and I was, talking to my coworkers about it, and they're like, "Why?" They're like, "Why are you sad?" And I'm like, "Well, just imagine, right? And this is before they found that it was imploded. Just imagine being stuck inside of a tin can. It's dark. You don't know if you're ever going to be found. Don't matter if you floated up to the surface or if you're, you know, 12,000 feet down. You can't get out because it's bolted out. It's bolted, shut from the outside. So, like, that's horrifying. That'd be terrifying. And so I do show like a lot of, sympathy and empathy towards that. And so I was like, kind of let down that they weren't found. And I think later that day, it's like they're like, oh yeah, no, we found remains down at the bottom of the ocean. And it turns out they knew the entire time that shit imploded. That's kind of crazy. And then on top of that, so there was that, and then there was that whole solar storm that might take out the internet. Did you hear about that? That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's official. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, if it's like that, let me share the screen to you.
I would not pay $250,000 to ride in that. I don't care how rich I was. I'd build my own. That's fucking crazy.
Man's probably trusted people, and you know,
The only reason why I would say that they had like any reason to trust them is because it's made like several trips down there before, and everything was fine. But I think the last time that they went down there, they heard like a giant, like a crack. You don't want to hear a crack in your hull, like. So they went down again, like that. The CEO is a piece of shit for taking another group of people down there, especially a kid like that. That's crazy. He was either a con man or he was very ignorant because he just ignored so many people, warning him that this thing was not safe.
Uh, yeah, it's well, man, I'm gonna go ahead and oh, damn, we're going about 2 hours strong. So yeah, Thursday night we'll go ahead and brand this the Stoner Talk. So, yeah, I'll
Are you
go.
gonna Are you gonna make a whole new theme or what?
Up.
Are you making a whole new theme or what?
Uh, well, yeah, I'll probably make I'll make for now. I'm gonna keep the background that I have because I spent so much hours trying to design it. But yeah, I'll probably go with like a virtual background. We'll be, floating in a field of marijuana somewhere,
Huh.
hanging
There you
out.
go. There you go. You work
Yeah,
tomorrow or what?
yeah, I gotta get my black ass up at 3:45.
Oh damn! You should have been asleep like at least 2 hours ago.
Oh man, fuck, that's part of the grind. I gotta get this podcast shit done. I gotta get it done, and I still get my job done at work. I ain't gonna flex too much. I'm like, I get the job done at work at all times.
When I say that, I'll have to go to work at 8 tomorrow. I'll probably be up till about 2:30, and then I don't get no sleep because I wake up when the baby does. So, I say the same thing. Like you should have been asleep hours ago, but I'm gonna put myself in the same situation.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Thanks for tuning in with us, guys. This has been Malcolm. I was joined by my homie Frank. You guys have a good night. Peace, love, happiness.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, buddy. See you next Thursday.